the heart of Rajasthan, where the desert winds carry tales of valor and royalty, stands a forgotten palace near Jodhpur. In the heart of Rajasthan, where the desert winds carry tales of valor and royalty, stands a forgotten palace near Jodhpur. 200 years old, its walls have witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties. But for the last century, it has been left to decay, a skeletal ruin against the fiery sunsets. Locals call it the Mahal of Silence, a place where history sleeps uneasily. They speak of a curse, of a royal guardian who still walks its empty halls, his duty unbound by death. They say that at night, when the world is quiet, you can hear ghostly footsteps echoing through its corridors. We are Rajveer and Meera Rathar, descendants of a lesser branch of the family that once ruled here. We've come not as ghost hunters, but as historians, seeking to understand the tragedy that befell our ancestors. We've been told the stories, the legends of Rani Devyani and her faithful guardian. But tonight, we want to separate myth from fact. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long, skeletal shadows across the courtyard, we light our lanterns. The desert air grows cold. The great wooden doors creak open, and we step out of the present and into the past. The silence inside is heavy, thick with the dust of ages. Our lantern light dances across faded frescoes on cracked walls, painting scenes of royal life that now feel like distant dreams. Dim corridors stretch before us like dark, open mouths. The wind whistles through broken jarakas, a mournful song from the desert. We walk slowly, our own footsteps unnervingly loud in the stillness. I, Rajveer, feel a strange weight in the air, a sense of being watched by unseen eyes. Meera, her hand holding her lantern trembling slightly, stops and looks at a portrait of a woman. Her face is serene, but her eyes hold a deep, deep sorrow. Rani Devyani, the lost queen of this palace. It's said her spirit never found peace. As we move deeper, the feeling of unease grows. I call out Meera's name, and the echo comes back, twisted, distorted. A cold draft snakes around our ankles, though there is no wind here. Meera points to the floor. In the thick layer of dust, there is a faint trail, not ours. It looks like someone was dragged. The trail leads towards a grand hall, the Dwanikas, the hall of private audience. The air here is colder still. We hear something, a soft, metallic jingle, like a single anklet, a pile, dropped and rolling on the stone floor. But when we shine our lights, there is nothing, only dust and decay. The sound stops as suddenly as it began. My heart is pounding in my chest. This is no longer just about history. There is something else here, something that does not want us here. We press on, drawn by a morbid curiosity we can't explain. The whispers begin then, faint at first, like the rustling of silk carried on the cold air. They seem to come from all around us, weaving through the pillars and arches. We can't make out any words, just hushed, sorrowful tones. Meera clutches my arm, her eyes wide with fear. The lantern in her hand flickers wildly. And then we hear it, clear as day. Footsteps. Heavy, measured steps, like someone wearing old, leather jutas. They echo from the far end of a long, dark corridor. Thump, thump, thump. We freeze, our breath caught in our throats. We shine our lanterns down the hallway, but it's empty. The footsteps continue, getting closer. Thump, thump, thump. They are slow, deliberate, the sound of a guard on patrol. We are not alone. A shadow detaches itself from the deeper darkness at the end of the hall. It's impossibly tall and thin, moving without a body. It glides along the wall, growing larger as the footsteps get louder. Thump, thump, thump. The sound is right in front of us now, but there is nothing there. Just the cold, empty air. Suddenly, the whispers become clearer. A single word repeated over and over. Jao. Go. A woman's voice, filled with despair. It's coming from a room to our left. The door is huge, made of dark wood and bound with iron, and it's locked with a massive, ancient chain. The Forbidden Room. Legend says this is where the tragedy unfolded. My hand finds a small, leather-bound book tucked behind a loose stone near the door. A diary. The script is faded, but I can make out the name. Ronnie D. Her words speak of a forbidden love, not with a prince, but with a poet from a rival kingdom. Her most loyal guardian, Baron Singh, discovered their secret. He was sworn to protect the royal honor above all else. He saw the poet not as a man in love, but as an enemy spy. One night, he confronted the Roni in her chambers. He begged her to end the affair, to uphold her duty. Se refused. As I read the last entry, the temperature drops so low our breath turns to mist. The heavy footsteps start again, right behind us. This time, they're accompanied by the chilling sound of a sword being dragged across the stone floor. We turn, slowly. The tall shadow on the wall begins to solidify. From the darkness, a figure emerges. It's him, Baron Singh. His body is gaunt, skeletal. His eyes are hollow pits with a dim, white glow. He wears a tattered guard's uniform and a rusted chest plate. In one long, thin hand, he loosely holds an ancient, rusted tower, its tip scraping the ground. He doesn't look at us. He stares at the locked door, his silent gaze filled with an eternal, unending duty. He raises his free hand and points a long, cracked finger at us. No sound comes from his lips, but a voice echoes in our minds. A voice like grinding stones. Leave. It is not a request. It is a command from a being trapped between worlds. Panic takes over. We scramble backwards, stumbling over fallen debris. The Guardian, Baron, takes one slow step towards us. The sound of his footstep is like a hammer blow to the soul. Mira screams as she trips and falls. We pull it up our lanterns, swinging wildly, casting frantic, dancing shadows. We run. We don't look back. The sound of his dragging sword and his heavy, relentless footsteps chase us through the winding corridors. The whispers of the Rani seem to guide us, pushing us towards the exit. Shao, the great doors of the Mahal are just ahead. We burst out into the moonlit courtyard, gasping for the clean desert air. We slam the doors shut and fall against them, our bodies trembling, our hearts about to burst. We made it out. We are safe. For a long moment, there is only the sound of our own ragged breathing and the chirping of crickets. The silence from the palace is absolute. It's over. But as I help Mira to her feet, my hand brushes against her ankle, and I freeze. My blood runs cold. Around her ankle, glinting in the moonlight, is a single, antique silver pail. An anklet I have never seen before. She looks down, her face pale, with a dawning horror. She doesn't know how it got there. The whispers were not warning us away. They were a plea. The Rani Wasanti, telling us to go. She was telling a guardian to let her go. And now, a part of her has left with us. We haven't escaped the Mahal's curse. We've just brought it home. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe DKR Mystica, and hit the bell icon for more explorations into the unknown.